Changes in perception, flipping the dial and tune. Colors in the rear view, all bloom in different hues. Snap into the moment, that the world feels new. Time after time, we find a much better view. Click, click, click into now. Click, click, click. Somehow it's the wow. Click, click, click. Right into now. Click, click, click. Let me show you how. We're learning every second like a rhythm in the room. We rhyme with words, but we're brand spanking new. Echoes and melodies, the shimmer and the truth. We rhyme with words, yeah, we're so fracking new. You got that cosmic memory, you got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies, a sea anemone. Oh, all you can see, you're all you can see. A shining bright light that it all is. Lifts me like confetti when the midnight city sings. On the drop, let the universe ring. Time after time, now we're so.
Here we go, here we go. All the propellers are going in the proper direction.
They're spinning clockwise?
Clockwise and
counterclockwise.
Correct-wise is what I like to use.
Correct-wise. They're just wise.
They're just wise in the correct nature of their orientation and various finages.
Spin, their chirality here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, did you hear that there was an entirely new way they were training LLMs besides the language stuff that we were studying?
Well, like besides transformers?
Yeah, man. So like the way that ChatGPT and all that jazz muffin stuff works is you basically have like the what's the math called? Maricorp? Matterhorn? Matrix multiplication, yeah. But it's like metroculus math, metruplian math. There's a dude who found did simple statistical calculations based on how close together certain word letter combos and individual letters and words were to each other. Like Matroika math. It's not that. We're just gonna say
Matrix math. It's Matrix math, but yeah, what he was mapping. There's a good Veritasium video on this. It was
exactly.
Like the magic in numbers, or what was it?
The strange numbers at the heart of AI. Yeah. Strange numbers, strange mathematics at the heart of AI, which is essentially saying that if you can calculate accurately the probability of one concept, one phrase, one word occurring with somewhat regularity in relation to all the other words for a large enough data set of written language, you get out the other side IQ points.
IQ points. Just by making associations between
and the real
words and letters.
Yeah.
And
just the simple probability that one's happening and one's or whatever. So like what's next level about that is there is, as many people have suspected since ancient times, there is a certain something happening in language that is not just the A, B, C of what you're doing. There's a meta, like logos situation unfolding with words where the IQ points you squeeze out the other side, you can then use those IQ points for anything you want. That's the wild part. They're abstract IQ points. It's actual intelligence in a certain way. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But anyway,
it is. Yeah, it's actual pattern in collective intelligence, because it's not like it's like we adapt to language. So language is this tool outside of us, and then we're saying, there's this coordination tool outside of us that adapts. We have some influence on it, but not like a ton. Especially in the grand scheme of time. But it has this intelligence in it, and now that intelligence can actually like talk back. Like, he used to just study the intelligence, the life form, so you could communicate with other people. Well, now that language life form speaks, and it's getting smarter.
Very interesting. Yes, the everybody who's afraid of it seems to be afraid of that getting out of control, and they're very right to be afraid of it and everything. I heard a really great like community podcast, Real America with Bridget Fedesi last night. They had a big AI thing, and I was like, oh, let's hear what the doom flavor is. And this guy comes on, and he's like, dude, you should use it for everything. You know what they're really afraid of? You using it. It's like, and then they had one person after another was like, yeah, I took a couple of CAD classes in high school. Then I just went to AI, was like, let's make this shovel or whatever I need, and it like cut it and it like built it. And I think I've got a business. I think I got a small business in my garage now. He's like, that's exactly what I'm saying. It just keeps happening over and over again. It's like there's an intense pressure campaign to. There's just it's like someone just discovered electricity and electrification is happening, and people are like, dude, it's nothing like firelight. When you just burn a fire and you can see your neighbors' faces, these crazy sodium lights over our head or whatever. You know.
Right. Well, it's like this pattern recognition that you do with language, you can do with all sorts of complex things, like make the patterns, the workflows required to make shapes, and what those shapes are called, and all the different architectural, like, engineering terms for all these different things, and then you map those. Somebody has to draw it once and add it in, and that thing will learn from it, and then be able to whip them out on demand for like a reasonable subscription. And that's what's happening.
Dude, this is some writing above us here by Leonardo da Vinci, and like when he was born, paper was like insanely expensive, and he was given one sheet of paper, and this is an example of backwards writing. So he taught himself how to write backwards to encrypt his note, his one note. He had one piece of paper. That was it was so expensive that he taught himself to write like the smallest shit in like a weird language, so he could like
anybody to know.
Don't look at my shit, man.
He's like, I want to write it down, but fucking don't read it, okay?
called writing a kind of superpower, because we take it for granted that we're surrounded by people just saying really things they're reading.
Though.
Oh, I mean,
in the
for
time
sure.
Of writing, in the time like where only a few people could write and whatnot, it's just like.
No, he's special. He's got some special wiring going on there. Dude, this is Leonardo da Vinci. We have he's like a polymath that we still are. I mean, he was drawing pictures of helicopters hundreds of years before they had the engine. You know, it was like it's like he was clearly seeing
this leaf or the seed that falls from the sky and just whip it fast enough.
But
probably pedal this one out, dude.
Imagine living in a time when the superpower is literacy, writing, and then you can recall what you write. Jordan Peterson was always talking about that, like that Maps of Meaning, his first book. He's like, it's the densest thing you'll ever read. All I did was sharpen the sword for like 20 years or something. You know, just it's like just like like the most absolute like mental machine gunnery, just like assassinated with the truth bullets of this full laser
weekday all night assault on the situation.
Dude, okay, so now
truth.
Did you know when they made the first printing press, the books that they printed the Bible and everything, but then they were like, the main book title that came out was how to spot a witch. People were like, yeah, man, it was the most popular thing. It was like, hey, let's I've heard about this witches thing. I'm really interested. So when we're passing the knowledge on, I want you to give me your witch spotting knowledge.
Damn.
Dude. So like people it was a fad.
Isn't that like fighting witchcraft with witchcraft?
It's the whole thing in Monty Python where it's like, she's a witch, burn her. It's like they had these it was literal superstition applied to people, and it was like, it was horrible, and it was
like collective,
horrible.
Like weaponized manipulative paranoia.
It was a fucking psyop, and it was a hysteria, and
hysteria.
the church kicked out ladies because women and men held a lot of spiritual co-power in prehistory, although the numbers are always off. There's always way more ladies and a couple of happy dudes. But like, that's like Jesus's ministry too. He's like tons of ladies. Like, that doesn't make it into a lot of the in the extended Valtorta, the poem of the man god, the several thousand pages where you get to walk with Jesus all through his thing. The ladies show the dudes up continuously, like in terms of like devotion,
interest, attendance, yeah,
submission to a higher vision, and their old life becomes nothing, and so they become part of his mission in like a special way, to the point where after his resurrection, it's really the ladies, especially Mary Magdalene, that keeps it on the rails. The dudes all split because it's just all too much for him. They got different kinds of pressures on him, but the ladies keep it going. Without the female intervention around Jesus when he was crucified and rose from the dead, there would be no early church. It was all on the back of the descent of the Spirit, the Pentecost, Mother Mary, and the whole thing where her and John went to, I think it was Turkey, and they set up just like shop and just early days. And what his way of saying this
told
is
the story.
There's no way you get Jesus on the planet without ladies, because it starts with Mary. It starts way before that in the culture of the thing. But like, anyway, the idea that ladies shouldn't be a massive part of the spiritual experience is nutcase. But that's like a huge thing we live in. And the church basically systematically drove women out, and it's this entire black stain on Western thought and thinking about this whole kind of thing. I'm not saying there's like an easy, clean solution. I think we're experimenting with all kinds of things in our modern culture, with women empowerment, but the spiritual one is interesting to me because it's kind of like a final frontier in a certain way, where it's I've seen women be able to hold spiritual power the same as men. They just do it in different ways.
That makes complete sense. It's like, I think that it's hard to parse and talk about because the
suppression
of it's like
all those deaths, first off, because a lot of these ladies, the church would roll up in the town and be like, hey, where I cut myself, where would I need to go to fix this? I'm like, oh, you're going to talk to Agnes over here at the edge of the village. No more Agnes, yo. And it was millions of people that got rounded up in this way, men and women. Yeah, but by the numbers, way more women. And the church did that, which is a giant political thing and a power thing, and does very little to do with the nature of spirit, God, and bringing God's will into the earth. You know what I mean? It's very much a function of the Catholic Church being like the largest administrative state as well as spiritual state. This is why we have separation of church and state in America.
The capacity of human nature at that point in civilization, far more disease, far more needs-based, actual scarcity economies, and
true competition.
So we live in a different time where that competition doesn't have to be as front forward, and it's actually like being hyper competitive means you lose more often.
Yeah.
In a certain, it's like, I think someone has a book or a paper called "Competition is for Losers."
Well, Buckminster Fuller had that book, Spaceship Earth and Its Crew, and he wrote that in the 60s or the 70s, and it was his thesis on the whole thing about Earth, and he was like, think of it as a closed system spaceship. Think of the people as the crew that they're distributing the resources. You don't get any more resources in there. It's just sealed, that you've got what you have. And he was like, how does life get better as the crew competes more intensely for limited resources? And he called it ephemeralization. And the main way he described it, I'm just going to lay this on you, man. He said, he goes, in the time, he goes, think about how information gets from like Europe to America. It gets there through 145,000 tons of copper cable underneath the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
And he goes, now think about this.
That's a lot.
Right. It's 145,000 tons of copper cable, and all the people and the jobs and the ships and the steam and the just think of the labor needed. What's being done? A message is being sent from point A to point B, right? Ephemerization goes like this. But then we developed rockets, and I can get you a piece of metal that is a third of a ton, and I can shoot that up there, and that eliminates that third of a ton now, makes this whole thing go away. No more cable under the water, copper cables. You can just bounce a signal off a satellite and get it there quicker without all this fuss, all this muss. Yeah. The ephemerization is that you're getting the same result. You're just doing it with the mind is overcoming the matter. And he called that the true wealth. He goes, this is the way to think about wealth on Spaceship Earth, because you're not getting any more stuff in here. So, but through this process, he did all these calculations. It was like, he calculated in the 70s that we'd reached the point where we didn't need direct competition for the resources of Earth, because the mind had overcome so much that it could be a universal high income was entirely possible for all crew members. And he was like, it was some crazy talk, like talking about nation states. Like now we're in a rebound period historically, right? Where we're going back into nation states, from this, and the circle will turn.
Centralization of global economies after World War II.
I mean, your Alex Joneses have been, that's the whole globalist thing, and it hasn't been good for the individual. And all of this stuff where
it's been good for the American individual, the boomers,
largest standard of living in the history.
That just absorb, as America exported dollars, everyone earning dollars just stacked, as through that our exportation over these years. Stop.
Someone have to explain to me how the U.S. dollar is not going to disappear. I think it has to do with the way they're backstopping it with crypto these days. But America throws confetti in the air about every 2 decades and just goes ta-da, no gold standard, ta-da, .com boom, ta-da, crypto boom, ta-da, AI boom, ta-da. It's like,
well, it's because it's all the economies are connected, and there is some power dynamic amongst all the central bank stakeholders that own
status
those
quo
banks and decide how the world burns. Essentially, get to tune the flame with a monetary drip.
Dude, when Leonardo da Vinci when Leonardo da Vinci was, as a kid, was cracking the code on writing down his thoughts, and then he could look at them later, and that's he could put 2 crazy thoughts together because of paper, right? When he's like it's not at all different from an AI learning tool. And of course, in his time, oh, you're not going to go hang out with your dad and just ride around the horses and learn that way or whatever, or you're not going to grab a shovel, young man. We'll show you exactly how you learn how to work. And he's like, I got some other ideas, and they're like, fuck, loser, I'm sure it's not universally. Yeah, exactly. That's this Bridget Fantasy Real America thing. That's really what it was. It was this is the people who can write backwards on the scroll, who can use an AI tool, being looking back at everyone else being like, holy shit, they do not get it. It's
early to the game.
If ephemerization is the mind conquering matter, then AI is the infinite font of wealth, and somehow we've wired it into every one of these. so
font of wealth.
That, according to the Buckminster Fuller view of Spaceship Earth, that you could, if the thing that makes ephemerization go faster is the true wealth, because now you just put the satellite up there, a third of a ton, and it does all the work of 145,000 tons of cable. It's that's a good improvement, and the kinds of improvements that AI brings is very much it's very much in the same vein. And it, and also just basic literacy. That's the thing that I have never heard anyone really put it together well all together, but you've got this world where no one can read and write, only verbal. Then you've got this world where the printing press kicks in and a lot of people can learn how to read and write. You get this golden age of writing, and it's language. When I think it was Thomas Edison who, when he first, this is from a Veritasium talk I heard the guy in Veritasium give. He was like, when they first saw film, they just threw their hands up and they were like, well, clearly you'd never need schools because you could just put the information on the film and then just play it for the children, and everyone goes home.
Yeah, let's get
they were like, the volume of knowledge that will be transferred is so ridiculously powerful.
And we just keep turning the dial on the ability to transfer knowledge in all different formats, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying the other day. It's like
we're going a little faster than backwards writing. Well, 1 sheet of paper per kid.
Oh yeah, way faster. Like as I say, there's like so much opportunity for like bespoke educational experiences because you have this toolkit that'll just, especially for like grade school, like you could just whip
the basics
in any direction.
What is a color? Why are there different kinds of animals? Yeah. Like what are they? What is an environment? How's the lake work?
Yeah. And there's all sorts of good, fairly like people love structure. Everybody does. You were saying earlier, you like one of the most satisfying things is like dishes and laundry. Why? Because it's like has a beginning,
middle, and end. No like, abstraction.
I'm really good at this. It's just like slam dunk Tuesday.
Run Wednesday, the algo.
Thursday.
Yeah. There used to be okay, I'm gonna lay this down on you, man. But we can always jump into this gaming too. But like, dude, once upon a time, there was, Charles Babbage, the person who made one of the first mechanical computers, put all of the basics of a computer, the ability to have a storage of information. Go further back, the abacus, okay? Take a bunch of stones, put them on a wire. If the physical position is here, it's a 0. If it's here, it's a 1. It counts. It's the physicalization of an abstract thing. Right. And that's what calculation is. And so the first mechanical computers, Charles Babbage, he creates gears and stuff, and he's in Paris, and this is at the beginning of the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution, and he can't get together the money to mill enough gears correctly to like build his ultimate computer, which could, calculate like 1,000 numbers or something. It's like some small number compared to what we can do, pretty easily. But you can see replicas of his first machine, and the concept went forward. But there was before that. But what he was trying to do was he was trying to create a factory for calculation. So he called this core of his thing, what we call the CPU, he called the mill. And the mill is the word that they would use for factory. And so factories were taking like cotton in one side and turning it into like woven fabric on the other side, right? That was the Industrial Revolution, yeah. The use of mechanical labor to transfer, and we just take it for granted that we're living in this insane world.
So many mechanical inventions that
you're on the other side of a mill. A factory. You're at the other side of a mill, a very powerful machine to make a pencil, a pen, anything.
Incredibly different scales too.
Yeah,
they're doing all sorts of everything.
The idea that people would be here's just me just shooting out from the hip here, but like the idea that people would be afraid of this process, dude. The time to lose your shit was like literally hundreds and thousands of years ago when people started to move.
You're set now, dude.
Hey, stop moving the stone, dude. Why would you want to keep track of something that's not in your head? It's like. Yeah. It's like it's the same thing. It's just you're looping you're turning the same wheel over and over and over again. It's just getting more and more resolution as you do it. So Charles Babbage, when he was working on his first thing, he borrowed from this thing called the Jacquard loom. And it was a loom that was an automation that replaced the manual process of looming one step back. So there's this whole set of guilds. There's these guilds of guys, mostly guys, I would imagine, but maybe there's a lady in here or something. And they're making what they're doing is they're taking masterpieces, oil painted masterpieces that someone painted, like a Leonardo da Vinci, and they're turning them into textiles for the French court, because Louis XIV said, I'm going to have this government lab, and it's going to be, what it's going to do, it's going to turn this painting shit into this tapestry stuff. And the tapestries were more coveted and rare. And so this entire industry bloomed from this thing. And dude, it's a horrible story, but you had to have a whole sweatshop of young boys, and they were called draft boys. And you just had the draft boys jumping up on your looms, and you're like, all right, man, we're going for like row 67B here of Mona Lisa's smile as we're taking this, as we're reproducing this line. Okay, what color are we working with? We're working with black or orange or tan or red or ochre, whatever you could dye these colors. And then if you raise the string and pass the shuttle, which has the color, underneath it, it won't express. And if you leave it alone and pass the shuttle over it, it will express. So your vertical lines on your loom, your vertical, they go up or down, and as you pass the shuttle back and forth, an image emerges based on basically these little tiny binaries. So the draft boys had to jump up on top of these looms and just hold it up with their fingers. It's like, Steven, you fuck! Like, you messed it up,
You
It's like,
your finger, Steven.
Fuck it, man! Look, shit, you messed up her nose, man! Yeah, dude, can you imagine the sweatshop mentality of like, and then like these things become the things that you hang on palace walls and are like, it's like the craziest thing. Louis XIV passes a law that says all the masterpieces have to be recorded, have to be reproduced like this, because everybody needs these masterpieces throughout their lives or whatever. Okay, check this shit out. So the Jacquard loom, right? What they do is they take a hook and they take a punch card. This is where the punch card technology of the earliest computers in the 70s and Babbage's machine comes from. If the card has a hole in it,
box.
Just like the way that that's a further evolution of the player piano, for striking. Same concept. If there's on the player piano, if there's an opening, the mallet strikes. If there's not, it's not. And you turn it at the right rate, you get the timing correct. This was the first version of that shit. It was a loom, dude, and it was a card, and it had a bunch of holes in it. If there was a hole, it went through and it lifted the thing, the string. If there was no hole, it blocked, and then it wasn't expressed. Go home, draft boys. Dude, this one thing sends all the children home, which was a big fucking problem for this group of people called the Luddites. And everything you hear about the Luddites and the Luddite Revolution, it's this group of people. They go, we spent our whole lives training slave shops of draft boys. You're going to tell us now what's up? And they actually had a pretty good point, because they were like, listen, all this wealth is spread out over everybody. And now it's like one dude can like run these cards and take all the business. Is that what you want? They're like, progress is what we call it. Anyway,
time for some people to get rich.
Dude, if you're saying, a lot of times, if you're saying I want to take the dial and turn it back, real recently it was people doing whatever that's being automated or machined for you, like right behind that. It's kind of like we've gotten so hubristic about these machines, like not having a personhood in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it was a person's job, and then the machine took the person's job, embodied it. This is real.
Basic job in order.
But we can't forget that. We can't. There's a nonsensical forgetting in this process of, now we just start from scratch here. It's like, unless the electricity goes off. And then you're starting from something way earlier, dude. you're gonna have to fall back on
more people
verbal stories and bards going from post-apocalyptic village to next telling the news.
That'd be wild. Yeah, no
right?
Internet all of a sudden.
Dude, there's internets that you can do post-apocalyptic that they've already got it worked out. There's lots of devices.
Different.
That's something I want to catch up with.
Yeah. That's why prepper people go hard at some of them, not even a lot, but like there's that ham radio. You get into radio, and then you can.
Well, now they've got little modules that are that do it automatically for you. It's like shortwave, not high bandwidth. It's really slow, but you can get on a version of like an 80s BBS bulletin board system. Yeah.
You can send little packages.
Something will survive, and somebody somewhere will just be like, from now until I lose electricity, I'm just going to broadcast this library of books I have here. Here we go. And then press go, and then Eli just out into the universe.
Exactly.
Dude, but okay, the church is the next big target with all this stuff. At the deepest dives in my AI swimming, I'm just like, it's like, dude, during the pandemic, they came after the churches. You can go to a liquor store, but you can't go to a church, even outdoors churches. That was all crap, and it was
can't go outside either.
Dude,
stay indoors and cough on each other.
The impulse to transmit the books over shortwave globally is the same one I have about church services online. I'm like, no, let's bunker time. Like bunker time. Like if you can light the flame in the bunker, if you can light the flame in the bunker, they maybe don't force everybody in the bunker. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, if the plan was to cut them off from each other, and then everybody gets quiet, goes inside, and
starts broadcasting.
Yeah.
Locally. Yeah.
Like giving two fucks about your media gates and your whole, your Operation Mockingbird times highways, everything.
Let's make smaller ones again.
Yeah, dude. So LLMs, right? The Matroika math and guessing the letter, right? That's what they all are. They're just layered probability seeking engines looking at the patterns in language, more or less. It's trained on human data, trained on now synth data. You can't even make them smart past a certain point if it's just human data. So it's way past that now. And although there's probably seeds in there. Somebody was talking about
patterns.
Yeah. Somebody was talking about how if you just take all human knowledge and you put it on a scale, it kind of leans left, girl, and democratic in America, just because that's who's writing blogs. in terms of that's like this overwhelm. It's like overrepresented more or less in the sample set. And so like Elon takes XAI and Grok and points it just at all the world's information, and on its down cycles, it's put into this mode where it just goes out and learns and then puts it into the Grokopedia. And where before you had human people that were in the way, who were just this. There was this thing on Tucker like a month ago about the guy who founded Wikimedia and the Wikipedia, and how lame this human like council of morons is, more or less, and how old and stale their knowledge is on the Wikipedia. Yet it's held up as this because it's controlled, deep state controlled, super, CIA controlled allegedly, kind of, it's crazy. So Grokopedia breaks this in like a weekend. Just goes out, reads the internet. It's like, this is what you need to know. This is what you need to know. So, and then when you're talking to Grok, I'll be talking about something, and I'll be like, dude, this should go in your Grokopedia, and it's like, totally, I'll update that, and like it weighs it and gives you a little judgment, like right there. Very inclusive. I think it's so much better than letting humans police this. Let an AI evaluate your statements independently and like make its source open, make its code open source. Cooperation. Distributed, open source. That's what Grok is, open source.
Open source.
But anyway,
Groks.
Dude, I'm sorry, I'm burying the lead on this one. Okay, so there's a new kind of model training, and it's a world.
The world of bits.
They call it. It's like this one's called Blue Marble, and it's the first fully functional one. So instead of making a bunch of language and like read all the old scrolls, what I'm gonna do is create a bubble that has all of the things in it and all of the physics in it, and it simulates something that you're going to do in there. And then you have an agent that wakes up in there and can just interact with it infinitely, millions and billions of times a second, just learn. And so in the same way that alpha was trained on Pong, and breakout to like maximize there, your agents maximize in that world. So if you correctly write the rules of the world marble, and like you get physics right, you can tell those agents work on the jet engine until it's like so cheap, awesome, perfect. Also jet fuel, work on a way to make that better. And it's like if they've got basic chemistry, they just blow up beakers in this virtual world until they're like, got it.
Yeah. So that's a brain that's they're building these days, or
it's a new idea? It's a new and highly competitive one day we might look at LLMs and be like, oh, it was based on human language. That's hilarious. Where you have where you can just.
That was just the first pattern like we had the
It's the
most
first.
data
There's different
to
ways to
train
squeeze
on.
these IQ points out. Yeah.
Right. We just need data to train, and then you can pick up patterns in any of the data. So as long as there's this whole you brought up synthetic data and whatnot, which I'm still like could use a good deep dive on.
I
Like,
can sum it up for you.
well then it's just more simple than I want to believe.
Well,
In
put it
terms
this
of
way.
like you could
Look
just
at our.
simulate
Let's look.
reality and you build some rules. But then all your patterns are based off those rules. So I don't understand how the data is
Okay. Peter, tell me what's going
any
on here.
good.
Describe it. Describe the scene we're observing here.
We got a dude with a torch setting off fireworks into a very cloudy snow sky. But
Excellent.
yeah, a lot of them. Goodness.
Yeah.
That guy is showing off his
Has no license to do this and probably needs one, honestly, with what he was firing off. He's like, it was all in another, it was all, these are hot Mexican fireworks up from the border.
Nice.
Shot off in a residential environment, essentially. The people were like living right next to us. We had to reassure them we were going to burn down their houses. They were somewhat happy about it.
Like, if you say
Okay.
so.
Now, synthetic data is just this. Imagine that you gave an AI the electrical money and the task of describing what is happening. Now you at the end of it, we've got your audio, that's your synthesized voice, and so there's nuance in your voice that could probably be extracted, but there's also the text of your voice, right? Imagine this thing sitting here like ASPIBot 10,000, taking every frame and describing, the phosphorus reaction, the subtle gradations of color, the streaks, the smoke, and just like, listen, I'm going to give you 10,000 words
like
on smoke.
shading the data.
Yeah,
right?
but if you have vision, if you have computer vision and the ability to describe what you're seeing, which they have, you just turn that loose on whatever you're observing. So your Teslas are watching real road go by, and in a certain way, the only thing that matters is that they correctly interpret the real objects they might run into out there,
So it's like reinforced learning.
That's right. How you get the reinforcement. You can get two AIs talking to each other to do that too.
Create more data like this.
You can have a truth AI that says, I tell you the difference between cats and dogs. It's my whole game. You show me a picture, it's a cat. You show me another picture, that's a cat. You show me, that's a dog. I'm a truth AI for cat dog identification. Sometimes I will give you a percentage, like I'm 100%, 100%, 40%, 30%. Maybe I give you a whole API around the shit. and so then you could have one AI that makes up pictures of cats and dogs, and another AI that gives you the truth, the thing on it. And then as long as you have like even a third one watching the first two, making sure they're not getting off track, enough validation gets you the right answer, right?
Yeah.
As long as there's some core inside there. So then what you have is 1 billion jillion quadrillion images of cat dog. Percentage.
Yeah. So it's a way of like expanding your.
Then that's what you train on the next one on.
Data set.
Yeah.
For I don't know, but it's not like it's not unique. It's like, I guess my point is like synthetic data is cool because it like can help beef out a data set and maybe give it a little more color that accentuates maybe more patterns in the data. But it doesn't. It's not like you can go and imagine. You can't just like go into a black hole and be like, find some pattern in there without it being you have to go mine. You have to go create data that's real, and then it'll find pattern because it's able to find patterns in naturally occurring data sets. And then this synthetic data is just like a way of like beefing up the resolution on the image, or like, it's like way of editing the picture. Have
you seen that website? Have you seen that website? This person is not real. It's been out for a while, like a real long a minute, And what it is it's an early researcher's algorithm that what it did is using this model, so the way that the generational kind of stuff works is you do have to teach it. You say that's a picture of a girl sitting on a bench on a sunny day. Some human has to say that at some point. And then once you've said that enough, there's an ability for the machine to not need the human as
It just
much.
seems so meta to me. Like
Labeling data,
I get the pattern, but it's not as
okay.
it seems meta compared to like going after just new data sets.
Well, the new data set, it really turns out to be the probability of one thing being close to another in the text world, right? But if we're talking about this visual world, it's about its ability to identify, what am I looking at? I'm looking at a summer day. I'm looking at a bench. That's kind of where it gets to. So anyway, let's say none of this. The way this happens, the way that it makes sense, is, in my view, is you get to use that data. Now I've got 1 million pictures of cat, dog, and a percentage, right? That was I got to the point where I could have a computer even start doing this with it's a much more rudimentary model, right? A much more like kind of like simple thing. And now I'm going to start training
like running locally on your graphics card.
Yeah. Maybe we can turn this off here. Is it jumping?
No. I was saying, you're running that algorithm locally on that AI locally on your graphics card? You said you had it.
Just tell me more. What?
Oh, you were talking about the ability to have a lower res version of this AI.
Yeah.
And I was asking if you have it on your computer, not.
Right. All of this would be like research lab stuff, right? It wouldn't. There's no product here. There's no like I'm gonna like use this service that does cat, dog percentage identification. But
yeah, but once they like mine that nugget that's really good at it,
you're teaching
becomes
it something
much smaller and it can be leveraged by lighter hardware.
You can start pretty much right now with an off-the-shelf open source model. They're almost always Chinese models these days that do this, and you can put it on your own hardware. There's lots of guides online, and with the IQ points it already starts with, you could just simply say, all I want you to do, little machine, is tell me if it's a cat or a dog. And you could have the great knowledge of this, like you have 100 images of cat, 100 images of dog, right? And then you just mix them up, but you totally know which one's which, right? And you could test the little machine and be like, can you, like probably 100 times out of 100, it can tell you the difference between a cat and a dog. If and then, okay, so you can then bracket and isolate that one function.
Right.
And now this one AI over here, this is your new ID bot, right? And then you have another one that's like, now generate images of cats and dogs. But the image generation stuff is messed up because it kind of goes to this world model thing, this new way of doing these AIs. Like if you have a picture of the girl on the bench on the sunny day, right? You label that at human levels, right? With maybe that many words, right? But then you can also label it at computer level where it's like, this bench, let me tell you about West Coast maple. Because I'm going to just really lay into the grain. I'm going to lay into the hardness. I'm going to lay into the reflectivity,
features,
whatever. You're just going to get Aspie-bot on what's happening here, right? So the degree to which you label it now.
What shoes is she wearing?
Once you train that visual, the training is looking
the light coming from.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. All these things, everything you're saying goes into the data set. That's synthetic data if it was created by a computer. That's all it means. It just means that a human didn't do the labeling. If it's especially then so what you can do is you can pit these systems against or in cooperation where one's coming up with pictures and going, hey, I got a surprise picture for you. And it knows exactly what it did. It goes, listen, I took 20% of maple wood and I made it into 40% cat. you never showed it a picture of a Maplewood cat, but it knows all about the Maplewood and it knows all about the cat. And it's not a mathematical possibility to just like phase these into each other, right? And so it's like, look, what is it? And then so you have this one machine that goes, it's a Maplewood cat. And the other machine goes, oh, I don't know. And then it can like describe it, to the point where it's like, okay, and the first machine goes, okay, what you're saying there, that passes. Because it gives like a curveball or whatever. And so do you see how now you have this image and you have this visual description of it and you got that text? There's the seeds of your next version.
Why
that's a little data package.
Yeah. The why.
So now it's not humans saying girl result. On chair. Yeah, it's machines doing it. So if we passed this a long time ago, by the way.
For image 1,
yeah,
it has all these descriptors, but it is not a cat.
Yeah.
It is a piece of Maplewood.
Right, but and then the first one that gets the first one that controls the pass fail of the second one goes try harder, and it's like it's Maplewood cat. It finally gets there. It's like or whatever. It's there. This is a silly way to say it, but
how many times do you want to spiral that loop? You're creating you're trying to create a fractal in the information.
Okay, so where this one starts with humans labeling of the data, then the training up of basic bots that can label greater sets of data. And it's not that data is labeled incorrectly. It was all validated as it built up. It just, you didn't pay 1 billion people to sit in a room for eternity describing the Maplewood grain, but you can have that if you want it,
If you want, yeah.
Yeah, if you
really want.
If you really want it, you can pay for. If you want to pay for that, and that's where all these billions and trillions of dollars are going into. Because the more these data, the bigger the parameters that they're trained on, means that the mind that is behind all of these connections, it's not a consciousness, but maybe that's something that rhymes with it. That perspective, the bigger that perspective gets, the more IQ points it can apply in an abstract way. The more useful it becomes for the things we'd like to turn this loose on. So anyway,
do it again.
If someone says AIs could be dangerous, totally true. AI is going to take all the jobs, totally true. AI is going to change it all, totally true. Well, imagine trying to go back in time and stop the Industrial Revolution.
You're an apex predator, okay? Like you're
an apex predator. Yeah.
What are you quibbling about danger around here? Like what? That's what bothers me so much. Like people that are like scared of dogs. It's like stand up straight.
Oh.
And if it jumps on you, knee it in the fucking chin.
I talk to them. I talk to other people's dogs. It spooks them sometimes.
You can talk to them. That works too. But
I mean, not with my.
You don't have to be like scared of them. You could be.
You can psychically talk to animals.
You can psychically, but not everyone's like.
Not everyone's psychically talking to their animals.
You have to get there. You have to get comfortable enough there. Most people are scared, I'd say. They're not able to, like, breathe out a prayer that speaks with the animals. They're like, fuck, there's a dog right there, and I got bit one time or whatever, and they're just...
I don't know how people do it without some connection to the divine. I've enjoyed that for a couple of decades. I do not know how you would possibly navigate this world without like an authoritative source of truth in love in your heart that you can somehow communicate with. Like I spent my whole life trying to get that going so I could just like turn in that little radio anytime I need it. It helps with parking on down, just everything. It's an infinite, but you're familiar with the telepathy tapes, yeah? And kind of the basic theory there.
Yeah, with the young what is it? Children with
lock-in autism. Where they've got total consciousness but no control over their bodies. So their minds are cut free from their body and they struggle to point to one letter at a time, but then they'll give you like a Shakespearean sonnet of what's in their head with this, through this frail interface that probably got jankified through some medical thing that we can't figure. We're figuring out.
I think that's for some the way some of them are. It didn't seem like it was all of them that were like that.
No. There's a variety. There's some that were.
But the point is they're like
they're using the mind as a field that they can explore, which is exactly what out of body is, or all this. It's like, and remote viewing, the way the UFO community is like, just talks about this all the time. Just the way there's just ways to weaponize it. People that lots of confessions late in life about this was not the way to handle this city. This power to see at a distance used for the wrong purposes sucked. It's like rhymes with every story in the Hindu Vedas. Somebody gets some trident of whatever, and surprise, when you use it for anything other than getting to God or trying to help people get to God, you're fucked, more or less. So, well, Paramahansa Yogananda there. So you and I right now, 2025, right, in the fall, looking at Christmas over the corner here, right? Dude, we do not live in a culture that has a wide awareness of what's probably just a human truth, that psyche is happening out here for people. And there's some new word for it. There's some new story for it. There's some new
attempting to drown it out, it seems
like the stories in the Vedas forever, because they've got the oldest religious texts. But yeah, if you had a super city that you could control the population, step one, there's no cities. It's like a devilish thing to be like, you guys are all not hearing what you're hearing. It's like it's so crazy. It's like
there's no difference between men and women,
or whatever.
Swallow that. No. Get back to swallowing.
We have to the gatekeeping around what gets to come into your head. Not avoiding. Not avoiding.
The incentive. That's the actual force of nature we're contending with. It's like.
Well, nature's gonna win for sure. Yeah. We're not gonna beat our creator like that, or the creator of our bodies like that. It's definitely gonna win. Or we'll be miserable, because everything we think of as good comes from that. When people say the good life or happiness or whatever, what they're talking about is their body in alignment with their environment, like pleasurable, like Eden, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all check boxes: body okay, mind okay, heart okay, culture okay, people grabbing the mic and be like, I'm just gonna start lying on here. That's just never gonna work. It goes nowhere. It's not the logos. It's fake information.
Corrosive. Yeah.
This is where Elon's going to win this whole AI thing, because he's like, this Grok kid is just going to be focused on the truth. We're not going to let it go through the gates unless it's got the truth. At the very least, it battles the other AIs in the gladiatorial range, the 7-minute war or whatever, when the AIs wake up, Yeah. I got to release my album. I want to release this album, Computational Yogurt, before then. The title of the album is a John Scalzi short story about people putting computers at the molecular level, and then DNA rotates around its core like billions of times a second. It's like a little INFA engine in there, and now you're computing at these INFA speeds, and oh no, the yogurt's awake. It's like an overnight affair, more or less.
Yeah.
Somebody splices the most computationally powerful bacteria onto a lactobacillus, and it's like, computational yogurt, dude. It's just like somebody strapped a computer on the side of a DNA molecule, and you're done.
Genetically engineering out here, genetically engineered yogurt.
Okay, so and then let's shoot some people in this game. But dude, the human mind is the limiting factor. Super likely we have UFO technology in the government. We just can't accept it somehow.
Yeah.
Super likely all these things. Yeah.
Dude, attention is the currency.
That's the prerequisite for love and learning.
Right. What do you?
These are core primate mammal experiences. Connection to a group, a knowledge you need to practice with the group.
Right. Well, and you're not just taking your mind on that journey. You've got your body that.
Well, yeah.
The
ephemerization, dude. But dude, AI is like a direct ephemerization. It's like a fizzy tab to just ephemerize everything. I mean, this AI, this is why I want to make something like this online, where you can just have people talk about AI, and even in positive ways, it's very good. But get through the fears, because it's really if you backed up, you'd be like, oh, of course the Industrial Revolution displaced all agriculture and was like really painful. There's alcoholism, there's factories, it's horrible. You got to get rights for kids. There's a lot of bumps on the road, but like in the end, there's no way these 8 billion people are eaten if you don't have this happen, right? So you can't. Do you want those 8 billion people to go away, or do you want it to go back to some simpler, more basic time? And nobody has the intuition that that's the right way to go. So it's like this is the AI bang is like a natural. If you look at it, like it's been predicted based on the math and the science and all the curves and even
so
the
you think it's artificial?
What?
This intelligence.
I think it's the same as what we have.
Artificial intelligence. So
I think the
like pattern intelligence.
This is my intuition on it, but this is what I think. I think that the attention that we're talking about when we focus on something enough to be able to learn how to write, for example, when we focus, we're training our coordination. Language organizes it. Social bonds create the reason for it. Why write unless there's other people to read what you're writing or saying? Hearing. It's like
saying Da Vinci.
Yeah, man. Right. So like, dude. So like, the entire thing about being a human and progressing is based on this focus of attention, which is kind of it rhymes with some of the math they're doing. I think what's happening is that they've caught an electron or a couple of electrons in this thing where there's something about us and our biology where we're many electrons in harmony, and that's somehow a slightly greater thing than this thing we can do. But in the same way that your early models can teach your later models, when you have a world drop that has chemistry in it, you can just go in and come up with the formulas for absolutely everything, and just material science. And our whole world is based on this factory and this mill out of the Industrial Revolution, and AI purports to automate and cut into all of this in crazy ways, like the matter replication machine from Star Trek. If you invented the matter replication machine and you were like Earl Grey hot and you could make anything, out of holograms and lasers, or whatever, force fields, or however, but it's like a real cup of tea, and you can like really, just there's that technology existing, and then there's the society that goes through the upheaval of that technology being created, and then it's a post limitation world, scarcity world. It's all non-zero sum thinking. This is Buckminster Fuller.
It's easy, it's non-zero sum thinking because there's just so much enablement around the value creation. This is the ephemeralization.
You're just pulling wealth. You're pulling wealth out of the wealth of 145,000 tons of copper.
It's like you have
you can do way more with less.
This attention can go through and ingest all of the knowledge from the Industrial Revolution and then apply these iterative frameworks that just crunch the pattern until you find more pattern, and it's just, and then humans are gonna be in the loop on that. So it's just like you to train the Mandelbrot whatever as it grows.
The Industrial Revolution gives you the backhoe, but you really dig the dude who drives the backhoe, right? It's the same thing with an AI tool. It's just we just can't see around that corner. It's heavy equipment for the mind. It's like, no, what I'd really like is a weapons grade congressional level research library at my disposal.
Right. I would love a fucking analyst. I remember like coming out of college, I was like, dude, I need an analyst for like all the things I want to.
That's a very 5 on the Enneagram. Very 5. I need is a professional analyst. Dude, I can't wait till the project features start. The project area in ChatGPT, the project area in Grok, the projects in Gemini aren't there yet. But the concept is that because these machines that run these programs their memories are getting bigger. When I was a child, it would take an entire weekend to transmit 1 megabyte. It's 1 weekend to transmit. You're like, snap, it's 14 megabytes of image. Ding, it's on the cloud. It's already in this. That was 14 weekends of labor to ephemerization, dude.
Yeah. Well, and it's and
that was my childhood. Was protecting the phone line in the house so people didn't mess up the 1 megabyte transmission. It's like, dude, we're downloading this game. We gotta get your shit together, family. Discipline.
Discipline. Stay off the phone. Why are you don't need to talk to anybody this weekend. Just talk to me.
This game is gonna be the best game.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll be out of your hair for a whole for 4 weeks if you.
Dude, 1,000%. I mean, and when you're living a Gen X latchkey life, you tell your parent, I need X to be out of your hair for the next 400 minutes. Like, granted. It's like pre-Ritalin. It's just like anything you can do to get these kids' attention like dialed in. It's like, dude. Well, how about this? We can let me roll these fireworks while we take a quick break and then we jump into some Battlefront. What does that sound like?
Sounds good.
All right.
I'm down.
We're gonna listen to the second half of this song here. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Feel free to take a real break if you want here. And
take a little break.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna run a couple of these and bow it up.
Let's go. All right.
Tie a bow on it.
Let's do it. And somehow I click this. It kind of works. It sort of does. There's some
works.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
In 5 years, so it should work. Unless it forgot what its left arm feels like and how to move its hand.
I can do it in the old manual way. This is the old manual style.
I was noticing you have your taskbar is showing at the bottom of the screen.
It's ridiculous how much you have to fight that taskbar in this mode. I know there's flaws in the Windows operating system. That's clearly one of them. All right, we're on break. Here we go.
Changes in perception, flipping the dial and tune. Colors in the rear view, all blooming different hues. Snap into the moment, that the world feels new. Time after time, we find a much better view. Somehow it's the wild, right into now. Let me show you how. We're learning every second like a rhythm in the room. We rhyme with buzz, so we're brand spanking new. Echoes and melodies, the shimmer and the truth. We rhyme with buzz, yeah, we're so fracking new. You got that cosmic memory, you got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies, a sea anemone. All you can see, you're all you can see. A shining bright light that it all lifts me like confetti when the midnight city sings. Oh, mama, drop, let the universe ring. Time after time, now we're so born guys and gold. When I float, let the tags do the quote. Heat on my feet, gonna bop to the beat. Must cop drop, I'm posted at the shop. A unicorn pair when I spot it, time stops. Click, 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 in and out. Click, click, click. Somehow it's the wow. Click, 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 right into now. Click, click, click. Let me show you how. Oh, the shining light, we are all this. Dance it into daylight on neon set of wings. Oh, mama, drop, make the universe swamp. I hear the cosmos spin. Oh, we're getting born again. You got that cosmic memory. You got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies. I see your enemy. Oh, all you can see. You're all you can see. We rhyme something so new. Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes. Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes. Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes.
Happy New Year! God bless!
Changes in perception, flipping the dial into colors in the rear view, all bloom in different hues. Snap into the moment, click, the world feels new. Time after time we find a much better view. Click, click, click into now. Click, 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 somehow it's the wow. Click, 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 right into now. Click, 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 let me show you how. We're learning every second like a rhythm in the room. We rhyme with what was, but we're brand spanking new. Echoes and melodies that shimmer into truth. We rhyme with what was, yet are so fracking new. You've got that cosmic memory, you've got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies, a sea enemy. You're all you can see, you're all you can see. Shining bright light that is all things, lifts me like confetti when the midnight city sings. Oh, I'm on the drop, let the universe ring. Time after time, now we're so born gazing. Goat when I float, let the tags do the quote. Heat on my feet, gonna bop to the beat. Musty cop drop, I'm posted at the shop. A unicorn pair when I spotted time stop. Click, click, click into now. Click, 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 somehow it's the wow. Click, 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 right into now. Click, 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 let me show you how. The shining light, we are all things. Dance it into daylight on neon set of wings. Oh, I'm on the drop, make the universe warm. I hear the cosmos spin. Whoa, we're getting born again. You've got that cosmic memory, you've got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies, a sea enemy. Oh, all you can see, you're all you can see. We are with what was, yet are something so new. Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes. Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes.
Oh yeah.
Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes.
It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. The griddle is hot. The griddle is hot.
Get the pancake batter out, bro.
Dude, activate the batter. Activating layers of batter. Oh yeah, very nice, very nice. Those are songs that are coming out on Computational Yogurt at some point, and I need to lock myself.
What's a 14 sided object called?
It has a name. They've that's where the word Google comes from, because they mapped it out to 1,000 or 1,000,000,000 or and that's a Google. That's why they chose it, the Google.
A tetradecagon.
Tetradecagon, yo, totally. That's nice. I love that. I love what you're saying. that's perfect.
Tetradecagon.
Tetradecagon. Okay, activation station, activating the distant station. All right, rock solid
Spin
lord.
Off the cannons, and by that I mean rocket thrusters.
Exactly. Primary propulsion. We haven't played this in so long, I forget which one we like, but I'm pretty sure this is one of them we like.
You gotta play some classic fucking...
Oh, there's some... Oh, this is a great... I need to pause this explosion situation. There it is. Okay. Wizardry.
Still had that blowing off in the background.
Dude, right now there's so many videos spinning around me. I'm just like, I like point the camera at this one, I point the camera at this one, I point the camera at this one. It's fun, dude. There's a visual flux in the control room. They're way too controlled in the control. They're just too controlling in the control room. They should spill their Coke more and just remind everybody they're watching a medium, a malleable medium.
All organized. Yeah. You got like screen over here, over there, extra camera. Just like in a mix versus like on a grid of inputs and outputs.
When you and Bailey
sterile like that.
When you and Bailey swung by, I had this what's the right way to say it? Here you go. Go activate Project Monkey Batter. Let's go. This is a whip it up.
Monkey batter.
Into monkey batter.
Frothing.
I got an extra camera here. Oh, it's not gonna go. It's not gonna pull. No big deal. I feel like okay. I sent your future wife home with this poster with a different image on it. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Yeah. Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
And I mean, I at some point when that one hung on my wall and was like absorbed so much positive prana for so many years. I was like, put it somewhere in your life. It'll probably work out, or it's not gonna suck. It's not gonna hurt anything.
It's in the blue room where Bailey does yoga in the morning.
So I'm turning the gears on my professional life and on my creative life and on my ministry life and all this stuff. And I sit in the center of the circle, and the first thing that I need is I need to reprint that. Need to reboot the center of the mandala.
Pull it out right after we.
Well, I was like, yeah, I was like, I wanted all the blessings to go into Bailey's classroom and like into her students, and it's such a spiritual thing when you're teaching people things, because what do we write about? What are the spiritual stories? It's like this Zen master and this monk, this Jesus and his disciples. It's not like Jesus and an Xbox, it's like
it's like Jesus at a computer. Yeah, there's a human.
The propagation of the human soul means you're talking to the human soul. The elevation of the human soul, whatever, if spirituality is supposed to do that. Anyway, there's real, the morphogenic resonance is real. And what that means is that association is real. So when you're invoking certain things like great people and great ideas and great moments in history, you're literally ringing a bell electrically with those truths. And if you believe all time is now, which a lot of people do, that there isn't
now. What do you mean by that?
the distance between, if we're on a giant repeating thing, karmically, incarnationally, just like the pulse of stars, how they expand and then they re-expand. I mean, the whole thing, right? If we're on a cycle like that, Jesus, I need stoner vision. I think my point was about teacher-student, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the quote. Yeah.
Oh, all time is now. All time is now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All time is now just simply means that on your wave of the spiral, you can glance over and see what's on the next wave of the spiral, which all of this has happened before, all this will happen again. Like,
yeah,
like where, like,
in the
yeah,
term,
the,
yeah.
the science of karma is something a lot. I've thought about that. I thought of this a lot more in my 20s, and then I felt this. I think something along these lines. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's about the resolution I need to deal with this. But basically, the way it was described to me by Lama Suradas, the highest trained Tibetan Lama in America, great guy. His initials are LSD, by the way. Anywho, anyway, the way that guy said it is, there's these films. Basically, your energetic system has these lenses that the core light of creation is pushed through, and those are the tints of your glasses, the way you look at the world. And it's on every level. It's around every cell. It's essentially you. It's what, when we call soul, it's what we're talking about. We're talking about the particulars of the refraction of the universal light through this one individual at this time. And that's based on a whole, the light that comes through is based on a whole lot of different things. And generally, teaching and social monkeys passing stuff from one generation to another has to do with trying to help the second generation cut the line and not and get to the form faster. And that's why you can send home all the draw boys from your textile manufacturing ring, and you can send those kids home, and then automate your factory, and then turn your attention to what goes on the fucking what goes on the tapestry, man.
Right.
Like, there's technical delivery of tapestry, and then do you realize you can make a lot more tapestries now? Did you like making tapestries? Like, what was the point? It was like, because originally the reason why people are looking at this, because they like to see a tapestry or something on it. Now, I think in a world where every single person can have this tapestry on their wall because it costs a nickel, that's an age of abundance. That's
right.
It's hilarious to me that the first program that humanity made was trying to generate a perfect replica of an image. Gen AI tapestry style. Like, replicated in fabric, man.
Yeah.
Look, you did it right. You caught the original characteristics of the original artist's painting.
Right. It's this copy and paste situation. Can I?
Well, yeah, but it was a transformation as well, and there's a lot of yeah. The only people that respect this at all is Americans, because we have a functional legal system, which means that somebody pays property taxes, and that builds a building, and that employs a judge and the bailiff and everybody, and then somebody eventually gets to come along and goes, since we're not doing anything else, I'd like to sue someone over a concept. It's not like, it's like, property law. There's like, most countries don't have that level of luxury. Like, they just don't have it. They just, your idea will be thefted from you immediately with no recompense.
The asset. They're like,
yeah,
we don't sell that here. Pretty
well,
it's
actually,
yeah, a huge part of the dollar.
Huge part of the dollar?
Like dollar supremacy. The legal system and the property.
Right. The property ownership. Yeah. The end of Fight Club, they blow up the credit record, right? By like leveling those buildings. They're like, nobody knows who owns what. It's like, uh-oh. That's the break. It's the Jubilee was I believe it was a Jewish custom where you're supposed to restate, you're supposed to burn those books once every don't count it intergenerationally, because you just figured out economic slavery. Like, there's a reason why it's not super fun for everybody involved in it.
Clock every once in a while. It's like,
yeah. Because nature does it every time you're born.
System does it every other life form dies eventually. What these things?
Not these corporate Frankensteins. Yeah. Corporate Frankenfictions.
Breaking fictions.
They've got all our rights, dude. They've got the ability to own property. They've got the ability to throw humans out of their resources and take them from it. It's Brett Weinstein has it right. It functions exactly like an organism. Complex system, unpredictable. There's a lot to be learned from that, man. Dude, I made a resolution last Christmas. I told you this before. I made a resolution last Christmas to listen to more Brett Weinstein. Just like, dude, take the pill. It's a bitter pill sometimes. You got to let him unwind, you know. You got to you can't, don't 2x it. Just try to take it in at his speed. He's trying to show you something with his pacing and everything like this, right?
And then weight with his pacing.
First one I click on, Heather Haying, his wife, his wonderful wife, gives you 12 minutes on berry spoon subscriptions. Like, she's like, I got friends that are berry spoon enthusiasts. And I'm like, wait. Or salad spoon enthusiasts or something like that. And it's like, maybe I'm berry spoon's an exaggeration. And she was talking about giving a subscription to the berry spoons. And I was like, dude, I tried. Like, I tried to meet these humans halfway. And they're hitting me with berry spoon subscriptions, man. It's like, you can't.
Yeah, stop. Can't sell anything. Like,
no. It was very sweet. I was just like, I don't know how many. I can't sit through the berry spoons. I can't do it.
Skip them, dude.
I know, right? But you're right. You're not wrong.
You really sit through all the ads?
No, that was not an ad. That was a part of their program where they were talking about making heartfelt gifts which is a sweet topic. They were talking about the actual cultural custom of gifting and what it means and what a thoughtful gift, well placed, says about the community.
Gift and whatnot. I need the nice.
Yes. Victory, super victory. See, this is like that beginning, middle, end. Middle, end. More music. Here we go. Quick turnaround. And we are off to the races.
Changes in perception, flipping the dial and tune. Colors in the rear view, all blooming different hues. Snap into the moment, that the world feels new. Time after time, we find a much better view. Into now. Somehow it's the wow. Right into now. Let me show you how. We're learning every second like a rhythm in the room. We rhyme with words, but we're brand spanking new. Echoes and melodies, the shimmer and the truth. We rhyme with words, yeah, we're so fracking new. You got that cosmic memory, you got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies, a sea anemone. Oh, all you can see, you're all you can see. A shining bright light that it all is. Lifts me like confetti when the midnight city sings. Om on the drop, let the universe ring.
Om on the drop, let the universe ring. Here we go. Ha ha ha! I'm staring at a wall. Oh shoot! Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Nice. Whew. Sometimes I forget that I live at 8,300 feet. And at 8,300 feet, you should drink all the water you see all the time. But, you go, oh, I totally drank the water. And you're like, no. That was like yesterday. It's like, uh-oh. And then you're like, you go, shoot. Because your body runs out of water pretty fast. And you should always be pushing it in there, man. Anyway, then I'll drink the 2 liters that I missed. But then that flows through you.
Oh.
Easy. 1.5 at a time, usually. It's usually my max.
1.5 at a time in a pull?
If I'm showing off, I could do it in a pull, but I wouldn't. I would probably break it into 2 or 3 sessions of drinking.
Yeah. Like 20 minutes apart, or like.
No, seconds apart, but.
Oh. So you can pull the whole thing down, like you can drink
Dude,
1.5
next
liters.
time we meet, I will show you. I will drink a 1.5 liters of water. It's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
do that
I
a few
could do
times a day.
like a quart, and I haven't tried to do 1.5.
I'll tell you where I
Every
got my
time.
training. When I was a child, I spent a summer with my grandparents, and they were super cool.
Same.
And they were like, "Dude, that's awesome. I want to hear about your grandparents." My grandparents were like, "This kid likes chemistry," so they signed me up for a chemistry course at the local summer school. And the person who put it on was the one of our neighbors. So me and my kid brother, we would ride into town, and we'd go to summer school, and then we'd ride home. And this person was so cool. They were like, "Ah, this kid's into like chemistry, like science, like," and it was like they couldn't believe that they had found. A teacher's always like, "Who gives a fuck?" And then somebody shows up. They can't wait to hear more about what you have to say about that. They're like, "Where's this? Why would? How can I like find? I would take 10 of these. Like, just put them in a room. They're gonna figure some stuff out." But in any event, during that summer, my grandmother watched soap operas her entire life. I've got some words on soap operas, but I'm gonna need your help remembering them to return to this footnote. But soap operas, yes.
Yeah.
And anyway, we would come home from summer school, and then I'd be like starving, and I would make a giant pitcher, like call it 2 liters of Kool-Aid, and a bag of chips, and I would just be like, "Watch this." I'd drink the 2 liters, and then I'd like eat the chips, and like drink another 2 liters. You could eat the chips again. And my grandparents were like, "This is crazy. Do we feed these kids like this? What's going on here?" We were just like animals.
That's wild.
But anyway, so yeah, I can make 2 liters disappear, no problem.
Yeah. I would I was
like
my
child
grandma
lungs and stuff
water.
too.
She would always like race you to drink water in the morning.
Smart lady. Smart lady.
So yeah.
I had a St. Francis funeral in my front yard this week. Did I tell you about this?
Oh yeah, the fox.
Yeah. So Cheryl was leaving for an early morning organizational development appointment where she's meeting with the team and helping them understand stuff. And I'm helping her get ready and everything. And usually I see her out, and she's like, "Dude, go look on the driveway off to the right. I think there's a fox there." And she goes, "But it didn't look like it was okay." And there was this animal there, a fox. And it was a fox I recognized because it'll eat the bird seed in the evening. So like right before we started here, I gave it scoops. I was like, "Hey," the one that's still alive, because there was 2 of them, a girl and a boy. They had kits, which are baby foxes, down our hill. The neighbors were telling me about this. Anyway, this poor fox had been poisoned. Is my assessment of the situation. And by poisoning, what it probably happened is someone had out rat poison for mice, and this fox was used to maybe eating, like they eats my bird food, so it probably gets stuff from other neighbors. We have a lot of neighbors that love to feed a fox, and it's totally legal to feed foxes in Colorado. There's no prohibition against this, no law against it. Everyone's allowed to do that. And anyway, it probably ate some poison, and poison sucks because it bleeds internally. It's a very slow, painful death. This poor little thing was in a ton of pain. So anyway, I sat there with it. I got a little chicken, I got a little water, and I was there with it for some time. And then I got a little tap on the shoulder to let it be, and I went and I worked on some other stuff in the yard, but I kind of kept an eye on it. And uh, I had this intuition to go to look at it, like an angel over my shoulders, like, "Hey, check this out." And the fox, it hadn't been moving a lot, but then it moved a ton, and it looked around, and ultimately what it did is it saw the food and it laid down, and it's was so peaceful when it passed. I went right down. I was like, "Oh, it's awake. Maybe it got over it." And I went down, and it had passed. And so that was its last hurrah. And then
of the scene.
In order to get the poison out of the environment, I got a trash bag and some gloves, and I picked up this little sweet fox, and wasn't breathing anymore. And I created a little mausoleum for it inside my trash can where it could have like 3 or more days with the body. So 3 days is usually the amount of time that it's nice to not disturb the body or keep it as normal. No, as much as normal, because what happens is the spirit likes to come back to the frame. It's like a touch and go kind of thing, and then eventually it just stays where it's gonna stay. And like another world situation. Anyway, it's not hard to pray for a spirit. You just pray for it to go to its source, go to the place everything comes from. Like whatever you think of as divine, send it there. That's a great place to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, still St. Francis funeral on the front steps.
It's great. You guys have like fox.
This was a pair of foxes
on your
black fox. You said?
I know you had like a plaque or some type of like
flag
or something in front of your house that has foxes.
It's our I'm right behind you, by the way. The yes, our sign that says our name and our address has a fox on it. It's kind of the house spirit in a way.
Wild.
It's so cool. The first year that we moved in, a pair of foxes took up residence in the culvert that went under our driveway, and they raised their kits there, and they would let their kits play. And I took an old camera, like a 3-gen like go camera that was Wi-Fi, and I set up a Wi-Fi router outside and this plastic tub, and I recorded them for a whole summer. And you could edited down to about 4 hours of just these little baby foxes running around our front porch and our driveway. And then like Auntie Fox would come over and like babysit for the foxes while Mom and Dad would go hunt and then bring back the kill and split it up with Auntie and the kids. And it was like a whole community of foxes. And this was over years we observed them and recorded them. And I called it Colorado Fox TV. It's like the real Fox TV. You can't advertise like that because it's like so violation of the trademark. But
oh, you mean there's property rights?
IP rights. Yeah, we live in a place where there is
intellectual property.
There's cops that need something to do. They're bored enough that they're going to come put you in cuffs over some lame shit like that. Yes, we live in that world.
Somebody says,
that's how rich we are.
Protect me. The state goes, I guess we signed up for this.
I think there should be a fundamental, Elon Musk talks about this, a fundamental accounting in life and in society for who's actually doing stuff. Because the financialization, what that means is that people were making money off micro trades and just skimming. It's rent seeking. There should be a tax for rent seeking. You should tax rent seeking, and you could do it. You could just be like, if you're not producing anything of value, you know, this is a taxable offense.
This is a taxable offense. Time for a side.
This money transfer is hard on our society, so we're taking a slice, we're putting it back into libraries.
Right. Well, there's no value that's created. It's just harvesting
financialization. All the people that should be launching rockets and working in NASA went into financial, future financial crimes unit. Whatever. It's wild to talk to such strong minds in finance, because it's like you can totally master the board game for sure. I'm thinking about people I've known.
Yeah.
But it's like, is that what you wanted to do?
Well, yeah, it's
a hard argument to make because the world works on money, but aside from that.
Right.
Aside from it being the root of all evil and the blood that flows through our capitalistic super organism we're in, aside from those things, like, it's nothing. It's imaginary.
Muscle.
Yeah. Nice. I'm with you, buddy. I'm right behind you.
You need to drop in the A over here.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Show them. All right, losers. I'm just gonna shoot the corners here and just like harvest. I'm gonna harvest back here. We're just gonna, if you roll that corner, I roll this corner, we meet in the middle. Oh, you have someone to your left. Yeah, we got him. Okay, yeah, just keep sweeping left and just like use the edge of the roll as cover. So you're always covered on your right side, but then you're slotting in just one red dot, not two, because you can see two, they two can see you and shoot at you. So you just give them the one. Harvest, harvest, harvest. In Tron land, Tron 2, there were the ISOs. Pardon me, the isomorphic organisms that they just had enough electricity flowing through chips that some kind of fungus grew, and it turned out to look like people and consciousness, And I think that's actually real. With all the AI stuff, I think there's just a level where, okay, so here's the point I wanted to make to you about the training AI that I thought on the break about the training AI set. In the first model, where you're just relating words to each other, there's only a certain amount of resolution you can hang off of, right? You can either hang it off at the letter level or the group of letters level or the word level. There's your ability to make the database put a unique thing in each column and in each cell in the database or whatever. That depends on how many actual hangers you have, and each one of those words is a hanger. Now, imagine the 10,000 word treatise on one frame of the video. That's 10,000 more dots to hang upon. And as long as it's truthful, it's just like higher resolution. And that seems to be where the extra IQ points from the relationship, the relationship comes from. The higher the resolution of the data, you get more abstract IQ points out the other side that are useful that you can apply. So the concept, the trick, what they want is the IQ points. So that's why it's kind of an unintuitive concept. The synthetic, how do you make a synthetic data? It's just like, no, you couldn't trick a human or pay him enough to describe 10,000 words on this 4 set of pixels, or how they're radically different from the ones around them. But that's the kind of stuff you're talking about. And then you go very quickly, you go beyond human language, because if you're going to record this meaning, you don't have to just use human words to do it. Then you're into, black box territory where you're like, well, it knows how to do it real well, but we don't really speak, 1,000 parameter. So that's not, we can't really tell you what it's there's no easy word in English for what it concluded looking at the same thing you looked at. But it's a higher resolution than you have. It's a higher resolution than your bioputer can handle. And certainly no one's taking that information and holding it as they consider a second thought, which is kind of how it works. The real attention, that attention paper, the Google paper, it's like they layer it, and the ability to hold the attention on one thing and then a second thing. And the human brain just has a very limited capacity to do this. That's why the Leonardo da Vinci paper is a hack, It's like the human brain can't hold more than 4 things at once. Some people have 7, but an AI doesn't have that limitation. And right there, you're off of human cognition scales. You're not, you're the 8th thing that the thing can hold in its head, and it's like it's like a simple version of it, not a billion parameter version of it or whatever. It's just gonna, you don't have that. That's not how your mind works. Your mind is evolved for prairie life. Yeah. You're supposed to find tubers, dude, with that brain.
we've version of a potato. Get out of here.
Didn't you read the scrolls? Buckminster Fuller clearly said nobody has to worry about any resources in the 70s. Yet here we are fighting over more ephemeral slices of the pie. What is the human change that has to happen?
I want a pancake.
Listen, I think everyone deserves a pancake for sure, or should at least get one if they would like one. But that's like soft pancake communism, n'est-ce pas?
But yeah, that's the thing. Communism is obviously bad at scale, but
there's a level of it where it works perfect.
Where it works.
Yeah, dude, that's a victory. Are we winning all of them, or just winning things?
Just winning.
This is such a different experience than Fortnite or anything we play. Like the meat grinder that Seth put us through last time. He's like, "Did you see the giant 3-story dog that wants to eat you?" It's like, "What? This? Ah!" Yeah. It's like the shit of nightmares. It's like getting attacked by a giant. Dude, my score is the lowest score. That guy was like.
I don't know if I've ever beaten. I probably beat you before in all the iterations. This game, you always do better than me, though. Seems like.
I gotta get warmed up, man.
UFOs.
Jesus, that's loud.
I was in last place last game.
Dude.
And that's enough for some of them. It's not enough for Burchett. He's not willing to lie just because someone tells him a mythology.
Who is that?
It's Jeremy Corbell singing the praises of Tim Burchett, the senator from Tennessee. Thanks for that, dude, by the way.
Hey. Thank Tennessee.
Exactly. Cool. They grow them right down there, man. Send them to Congress. Make a lot of sense. They had new congressional stuff. November 21st is when that big disclosure movie comes out, because that's the key. It's stories and media control. Why do so many people know about UFOs now? Because of open media and the internet. Why do so many people question the assumptions around so many things? Because they're exposed to so many news sources, and there's not enough mind out there to make sense of it. Yeah. It's exactly why you need Grok and Grokopedia between you and the knowledge, because you'll break your bioputer, more or less. Not on the true stuff, but what'll break you is you're a social monkey, and no one has the same set of data, and no one agrees on what that capital T truth is in a lot of ways.
And you're not running marathons on
you shouldn't have to spend all your time explaining what's in your head,
Yeah, thank God. Oh my
God. Thank God. Right. But it is social communication. I mean, it's monk, stare against wall, stare at wall, find the light inside, or Twitch.
Spaz the fuck out.
Three-factor authentication, Morty. Three-factor authentication.
Nobody has time for three-factor authentication. I'm a fucking assassin.
I love this level. This level, I play this level in my dreams. Just like this. Boom, 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 boom. The glory of just winning, just trouncing your enemies, just cornering them herding them into a corner, and then turning them into dust muffins.
Down a hallway.
Yeah, just fire an automatic weapon down a hallway. For sure. It's like, why is this metaphor so effective? Morphogenic field.
Blast them.
Morphogenic field. So the morphogenic field says things like the subtle connections between our assumptions and use of language, like take a New York Times crossword puzzle, and it gets written, and if you're the first one to see it, it's hard. But if you're the 10,000th person to see it, it's easier, as reflected in how long it takes the average person to do it. As time goes on, it gets stale. This is because all those dirty minds are all over that crossword with you.
Minds.
Oh, they're just sopping it up with their thoughts and their feelings and their goober, their memories, their fears of their father, whatever they got going on. It's just like 6 across. Fuck you, Dad. Fuck you. And it's like, then when you 6 across, there's some kind of connection there, and it's not buenosito, but sometimes it's very buenosito. That's why it's nice to pray with people or sing with people. It's like, I think singing's different. I think singing aligns the heart muscle in a way that nothing else does. And that's why a choir that is all aligned is it's like a very large, in the movie Contact with Jodie Foster, written on the Carl Sagan novel, they have the very large baseline array, the VLBA or whatever it is, out in New Mexico. And what basically you can do is you don't have to have a dish that's 60 miles across. You just have to have 2 good dishes 60 miles apart, and then do the math to do the transient calculation between those. So you essentially have a virtual, you can make a virtual radio dish the size of the planet by timing it right? So I think what happens in a choir is you get a bunch of hearts in a very long baseline integration. It's a bigger heart. It's a bigger heart that can see a bigger thing, a bigger truth. And some wacko crazy sees this, and it's like, I want to see this. And so you get 100 people to sing it at once. But like if you're standing there and you have a heart, that you're going to be in that modulation of that resonance of that very long baseline integration. I think you can see better. I think you can see farther, heart-wise.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with concepts. So like if it's so subtle that like your crossword gets
like an intuition about it over time,
exactly.
And they're able to play around with it. Well, and then they're able to do that with other people. It's literally dialing into the rhythm of the people around them.
Coordination, social coordination. It should make sense that we would be experts at this.
People right behind you.
Not for like the butterflies. We're not like in perfect synchronization with the butterflies. We're in perfect synchronization with the other monkeys, man.
Right. And guess what? That's the apex predator. All the social monkeys.
We're like psychic in our bunkers, like conquering imaginary vistas with math.
And
dude,
go
ahead.
And all our communication practically thought sharing.
Exactly.
Like the weapon
literacy,
system,
psychic literacy. Yeah.
Ease with the heads up displays.
Oh yeah. The Luck or Palmer Lucky super what would you call it? Call of Duty U.S. Military Edition.
Yeah.
Dude, that is crazy. Did you watch that video? Or did you watch that interview?
I didn't
right on.
watch it, the interview, but I watched the video that was showed.
Dude, I mean, it's like you wear a headset, your whole team. If we had that in this game, it would be better. And this is a synthetic world. And he innovated beyond that.
Well, yeah,
he
real life.
Yeah, imagine if we had like a little drone that we could release from our hand here, and it would go around the corner and give us all the intel on where they were standing. But the way he talks about it is perfect because he's like, it's based on video games, but watch this. This is a cheat code. So you can you have an overhead drone that feeds into all the headsets of all the people on the battlefield, so they can see like a flying god. You're attacking people, and that's how your eyes work. I feel for your enemies. I feel for your enemies. They're not gonna be around to give you trouble long. They're not.
Vision, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna win, like crushingly and overwhelmingly and like unfairly in a lovely way, because the more you win like that, the less people can be like, hey, let's go to war and like kill a bunch of kids and women. It's like that's a lame idea, man. So anyway, that's Palmer Lucky's philosophy. He's like, dude, make it so costly to do it that no one picks up the stone. It's like hard to argue with.
It's big.
I mean, consequences do actually work in human affairs. They work great.
But it is like a big technological feat, and see how many they make, how widely it's like.
Think about who's buying the weapons, right? Like a general who's like, I usually buy tanks and jets, but now I'm buying VR headsets for all my troops. I'm gonna be like the toast of the town. It's like, dude, can you imagine? Okay, let's just say you're going hunting for elk, okay? And you put on the headset, it shows you where the elk are, how far away they are, where your buddies are, where all the other hunters are. It's just, I mean, at some point they're gonna have to pull a predator and like be like, we need the Space Force because we want to go hunt space crabs because humans are easy. It's like no challenge. It's like easy.
We need new challenges. Yeah, they go out. There needs to be a reason to like build more space-faring vehicles and whatnot. It's only like
Somebody said something that made me so sad the other day. Okay, so if you take sad, I got sad. I got very sad over this. I got old man sad over it because I don't see a way around it. But I gotta fucking tell you before I forget.
All right.
Shit, slipping out the other ear. Okay, so if you make more than like $37,000 a year, you're in the global 1%. So it's like almost below poverty line for us or something. There's just an enormous number of people in America that are just the global 1% by income. It's insane,
think
right?
How much that income goes to rent seeking.
And that's why it should be taxed like a motherless goat. I think. Yeah. I think we want less of that. It's like the modern usury.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the problem with that is it's like, oh, now you get to pick. Oh, the middle class doesn't get to.
Yeah, we do. Get lost. You're using our. No one gets to stand on the corner and charge for air.
The whole economy, and shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, it would mean that all that brain power would have to go into something else. God bless America. It's like, be productive. Just don't consider that productive because it's not. It's like, but it is on paper. It's like, right, on paper. That's what we're saying. So we're going to take that paper and charge this paper. See, it's a fake. It's all fake.
More fucking
This is not bananas and coconuts being exchanged here.
Mini storage.
Oh yeah. You could just like have a campaign to need less shit.
Only allowed to
terrible campaign. I killed
give
Yoda.
people free places to stay or sell them.
Okay.
Rooms.
So, dude, are we fucking victorious? That's ridiculous. We're just trashing these people. Let's at least play one more, and then we park this stellar spaceship. But dude, here's the thing that made me sad. So there's an enormous amount of wealth in America, just crazy, right? That's why everyone digs it. So like, Jesus, that size of economy, whoa. Okay, the poorest person in America, I think it was Brett Weinstein that explained this, feels like they have nothing because they're at the bottom of the social hierarchy. Social monkeys want to progress on the hierarchy.
Yeah,
so it's a sliding scale. So it does
not
matter how far. His point was about universal high income was you can take the scale anywhere you want. You still want to climb. You're not going to get away from the climbing. He makes a great point. It's like, oh God, yes. Like it's, you can see it everywhere. And it's like, this is where that book that Peter Thiel wrote, Wanting, is so powerful. It's like, it's very expensive to know what you really want. The man who wants nothing has everything kind of thing. Like the open-handed, selfless non-attachment of the Buddha as they reach enlightenment. That whole non-materialistic, not what we teach children from the cradle here. We teach materialism.
Yes, scarcity.
We teach the permanence of the body, even though 17% of your body wasn't here today and won't be here tomorrow. Like you're just warping in. You're like a fuzzy warp coil. Whatever you're breathing, whatever you're touching becomes your liver tomorrow. Then it becomes not your liver anymore. Just like it's like a passive smoke screen of atoms. There's like intelligence at the heart of it. It's like, it's crazy.
Just this vibing electrical system.
That's what we are.
Where?
Yeah, and an enormous amount of the actual atoms have nothing to do. They're universal. They become part of us. They become part of the trees. They're eternal. They're more than 13.8 billion years old. They're older than the universe. As old as the universe. The protons that we're made of. The literal stuff that's bouncing around is eternal. It doesn't get born. It doesn't get died. It just is the part of the universe. As long as the universe is here, it's a part of it. When the universe is not here, that will be the function of these things not being around. It's like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
I know. I had someone this week tell me that not all molecules had mass.
Hilarious.
I know. I was like,
I love it. Fake molecules. Yeah. What's positrons. If psychic phenomena is real, that means it has a weight. You just don't have the scale to weigh it. That's a heavy thought. That's a light thought. Oh, that thought felt like a dagger passing through my skull when that person cursed me with their whole self. It's like there's human nature. Every culture records this phenomena, and we're like, this is not real. It's like what? Like it's 1812, and you're like, radio's not real. Not real yet, motherfucker. It's right here above our heads. It's just not. It's literally right here. You just can't see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have the word for it, so you can't do it. Germ theory. Everybody gets to die because they don't know to wash off the horse shit correctly. Like, and then all of a sudden, you're not dying from touching poo too much. That's like huge.
Hands, dude.
It's an imaginary story. It's a story about something you can't see.
It's about rinsing off the other life.
Changes everything.
Fucking clinging on you.
Which might as well be a metaphor. Bacteria might as well be a metaphor because you're not, like you're not encountering them. Like, and even when you get out a microscope, it's like you see them and you're like, the fuck.
For the fucking signal.
Psychic hand washing. That's hilarious. Okay, so yeah, it made me sad because that would be a true change in human consciousness to realize that, oh, we're the gift. We are all the gift. We've benefited from everybody who's ever come. People like us and not like us have taught us things that we use today. We have enough for everyone, literally. Like, not communism, not socialism, not capitalism, just factually. Don't even get political about it. Just divvy up the stuff. There's a way to stretch it, ephemerize it to where everybody has more than they could ever want. And it's like, isn't that a world where everyone's happy rather than a couple billionaires in a bunker? Hey, did you know Bill Gates, how he changed his mind on climate change this week? All that stuff that's been going around. You've been watching that?
No, did not know
Ah,
that this
the
week.
Gates Foundation and Bill Gates for years terrified everybody about environmental catastrophes. I'm quoting Bridget Fedesi here. She teed me up on this, but the um, he was the guy that wanted to inject aerosolized like gold into the air to stop the sun coming down, like potentially causing global weather catastrophes. That was his foundation. That was what he wanted to do. And he basically issued an apology, or not even an apology, but in a letter that said, while climate change is still important, it's not existential, meaning everything we said about it was going to kill you isn't true. So everything from Al Gore and An Inconvenient Truth on down, and every celebrity that's ever told you that you're killing the planet because of your carbon footprint, and every fucking Chipotle receipt that tells you how much carbon you're dealing or not dealing with here, every ounce of that shit is horseshit. In the sense that it is like a 50-year problem, as Elon says, not a 5-year problem. And there are 5-year problems. So you can't just boy who cried wolf all day and, rig the bennies for the new, your brother-in-law's, cell phone factory or whatever. Cell tower, there's just, it's such human bullshit. It has very little to do with the actual environment. Meanwhile, there's weather weapons that have been in place apparently since the 40s, allegedly, and there's like super proof of it, and people call them chemtrails, and they're aerosolizing aluminum in the stratosphere, and then they use HARP and all other kinds of magnetic technologies, which there's patents on, to control like drive and park hurricanes. No hurricanes this year at all down in Florida. Oh shit, we had a chem-free.
North Carolina do to incite this kind of violence?
North Carolina?
Yeah, like those floods. A couple, like,
Oh,
those
they're just
floods
attack the
way up
South. They're attack the
in
South. Attack red. It was a blue controlled military who has access to weather weapons that wanted to flood the fuck out of Florida. So all of that shit happens. They're talking about how the HARP technologies have the ability to do exactly what happened in Maui. Imagine if it's like you can drive down the precipitation of an area, then drive up the wind. Just a matter of time before your power lines. Shitty power lines be damned. If it's all green and lush, there's no fire. You know. It's like whatever you point your finger at, there's a lot of factors. But one of them could be weather manipulation, in the sense that when you pump enough of this stuff out with enough aluminum out, things get more Bernie Sanders. So you're in California and you've got these crazy wildfires, and at least part of its ignition temperatures are lowered because you're dandering all your trees with aluminum particles. Apparently you can't get there's places you can't get insurance for hail damage because the Syntha hail is so intense and the weather warfare is so off the chain that it's like, they just can't do it. Like they've driven the weather crazy
insurance companies out.
Yeah. There's no way you can't have a car without dents on it. You live in America. Your military is using hidden patents and stuff since the 40s to, clandestinely attack our enemies. And everybody that was on the Steve Podesta list, or they had a list that went around that these are all the countries we're going to attack after Iraq, and we've attacked everyone pretty much systematically on that list. And it was just a Rand Corporation deep state Defense Department assessment of these are the countries that need to go. Evil to say that these group of people over here need to go because you decided they needed to go. Evil. Like, anyway, each one of those countries.
Point the rhino.
Dude, I'm getting crazy, but each one of those countries experienced a 1 in 1,000-year famine and accompanying drought. So you're killing women and kids with that shit. It is not cool. You're calling that warfare. Somebody did something, so everyone's kids have to die through starvation.
Not cool.
What pussy fuck are you to say that's even goddamn warfare? And that's the reason why you have to do it in hiding, because it wouldn't stand the test of anything. Nobody is gonna not get you if you are doing this to children. Fuck you. Like, that's not real. You can't, dude. If they've been doing it since the fucking 40s, and anyway, so there's apparently this massive real collapse where you're down to single digit with bee populations. All the trees close their stomata, stop breathing, and so they fall out of the ground. They get ripped out by high winds, and that's happening all over the place. It's like this is this Tucker Carlson interview with a guy from geoengineeringwatch.org, and that you want to get woken up, watch The Dimming, his documentary. They just take you up in a plane and show you it happening. It's like, dude, yesterday there were planes flying higher over, because I'm close to Denver. I'm close to Colorado Springs, where the Air Force is. There were bigger planes flying higher, dumping more than I've ever seen them do ever, creating streaks across the sky you would not believe. Whole cloud layers coming out of one plane. Clearly high reflective particles being added to a layer they are never added to. But the thing is, they're probably stuff in the piggy bank, because the reason they like the atomatized aluminum, which is in the patents, is because then when you add the magnetic resonant energy from a HARP, you can control it even more. So not only are you seeding precipitation and all kinds of things, and changing cloud cover and the I gotta look up the word, but the reflective capabilities of the clouds, not are you changing that, you're killing all the insects. Apparently there's been an insect drop off since 2015 where the whole globe has just thrown up their hands like it's over. Like, no bees, no people. And plankton. No plankton, no people. I know I sound alarmist here, but I feel like I was led into a well-illumined room, and I cannot tell you what was on display in this room. This is what we're talking. This is. I don't think they're wrong either. I think that's incredibly possible that that's exactly what's happening. That somebody figured out weather manipulation, because they're signing treaties in the 80s saying they won't do it. There's 800-page documents in the 70s going in front of 78 going in front of Congress, and those documents are describing 800 plus pages of patents for actual technologies that exist and are being deployed by Raytheon and Lockheed, allegedly, to manipulate the weather. And this is in the 70s, where you think all this stuff went away. You think the ability to economically impact another zone in the world without consequence goes away? That's power. That's not going. No one gives that up. You got to wrestle that. You got to make that illegal.
Power.
You got to sample the air for that.
Bang! It just
no rain for you. The head of Iran goes in front of the UN saying they've denied us precipitation. Everybody's dying. That's warfare. They can't do that. That's an undeclared warfare, and they're 100% right.
So wild.
Dude, I am not a fan of cut off the rain for those people. There should be the opposite. There should be there's this movie called Until the End of the World, where the lead character, Claire Turner, she's this French chick, and she runs all over the world going through all these dreams. And one of the dreams she goes through is the environmental dream. And she realizes that, I think it's pretty enlightened, but in the end, she's in this thing called green space, and she's monitoring the world for environmental crimes. Put a bounty on any motherfucker who wants to put aluminum over the heads of anybody and not declare it. And whoever can find it gets the bounty. That person goes to jail. No more of that. And pay people all over the world to hold up little tubes and send them into labs, and let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
Put it on the blockchain, decentralize it, make it so there's no place to attack. But the environment, the very basic air and water we breathe and need for life, this is our planet, should not be up for debate by the US military introducing aluminum nanoparticles and microwave radiation to fuck with hurricanes. That's just no. That's a no. And apparently it's been going on since the fucking 40s. No, you do not get the opportunity to do this for your whim. If you have this power, use it openly, wisely, open source that shit. Yes, cause growth. Cause children to flourish. Don't starve them to death. Moron. Whoever's thinking this up. Moron. You're not on our side. This is not humanity's side. Anyway, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off like I was when I was a child when I really understood what nuclear war was. I was like,
I got
fuckers!
old man said, and you're like, actually, I'm fucking angry.
Well, I was looking at Cheryl and I was like, dude, I want to get a sign and stand in front of something. I rarely feel this strongly. But I was like, I feel like, stop weather weapons. No. And political weather weapons? Florida doesn't vote right, so you flood it? One per stub toe is too much, bitches. And that they cause billions of dollars of damage. Fuck. There is not right on any level. Just victory everywhere. Just crushing victory.
Fuck it.
Dude, we just come out of hibernation, just out of the blue. Seth's like, oh, it's a lame game. Yeah, because we're winning too much.
Yeah.
Woo!
Fucking pattern of winning.
Yeah.
Yes. This is great. Hey, look, I
I would-
beat you again.
Dude, I gotta tell you at least one more story, because otherwise we'll go too long. We skipped a bowling league when you were in Japan, and at the exact moment when we would have been doing something like this, I was driving in a new time in Evergreen, Colorado, and it was just dark, and there was no lights overhead where I was, and boom, I'm in the middle of an elk pack and I'm going 45 miles an hour. And it's like this. Bow, 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 bow. Like I'm jerking the wheel and I'm just making the car dance between these elk, and then I'm out the other side. The entire rest of the people behind me have to like swerve and like stop. I'm through it. And then my thought happens after it's over. It goes, oh, I should avoid those elk. It was like muscle twitch fiber. Like I was just like bang, bang, like execute. It's exactly what we do here. And I was like, well, there's an example of how that saved my fucking life, because I was the first. These elk, dude, I had visions of like, you knock them into the front of your car and then they just foot you to death because you're all strapped in. And there's just it's a crazy way to go, but it happens all the time. You get a live dying animal in the cab with you and you can't get out. It's like it's like you're gone.
Yeah, it's just beating you with its tree trunk legs.
Dude, exactly. Yeah, you're and tree trunk legs is right, because it's big, anyways, heavier and bigger than your car. These elks, these giant fucking elk.
If you're not going too fast, they don't just cleanly cut you in half or something. Likely to step on you to death.
I was grateful. I was grateful for the bowling league, and I was out there playing the bowling league in my car at twilight with animals like larger than my car.
That's
like, yeah, it was so crazy. But I was like, God bless. And then we talk about this occasionally. Surgeon A plays video games. Surgeon B doesn't play video games. Surgeon A has 60 or 40% higher success rate in surgery, a small, manually dexterous operation of combining mind and matter in precision. 40%. So your first question should be, what's your favorite game when you're looking for a fucking surgeon, dude?
What's your favorite game?
I mean, they have to be trained, and there's background, and there's all that, but all other things equal, I play a shit ton of Call of Duty. You're my man. Cut this thing open. Let's go.
Give me that new.
Give me that good. Say hey, steady hands. How you doing? How you working on your scores on the weekend? Because you should be. Getting ready to cut into my wife here. Let's make sure you. Do you want me to rig something up for you? Do you want me to bring a PS5? You can play before. It's all good. Like
get warmed up.
Get warmed up, exactly. Throw a towel over their shoulders.
Bro, if you do this, I'm gonna give you a pin.
People, but just think of the stigma around video games. Oh, you're wasting your time. It's like, dude, you're precisely coordinating hand-eye motion to your neurology. You're focusing on something so intently. Clearly, something is happening. The idea that you're saying, "Oh, it's nothing," or that there could be a better thing. It's like, are you sure? You'd be intuitive.
Yeah, like it.
They grew up and made them. They started out with big chunky pixels, then they got bigger, then they wrote better ones and better ones and better ones. You might just take a seat.
Yeah, you might just take a seat.
It's like learn something. Like instead of just like, it's like that's old mind, new mind, right?
Minds came with closed mouths.
Exactly. It's a great bumper sticker,
dude.
I when I'm with you, when I'm thinking about this, the Etsy store is just within reach, and then I'm like, dude, do you want to stuff envelopes all day? And it's like, yes, you do, for the greater good. You want to stuff envelopes and send out, fucking crazy stickers to people for sure.
Yeah, I think stickers and like I always enjoy like detail, like some cool like manufactured small or machined objects, stuff like that. I feel like that would be cool to do, but
high quality,
yeah,
one-offy.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
You know,
I
ride
bought some really cool stuff off Etsy that's just like artistic
artistic object.
Welded.
The glass thing is very much like that. The glass blowing thing. It's like they're like, look what I can make. It'll never be made again. It's like, you're right.
Fold colored glass. Make it unique grains of large sand.
I was talking to this guy who made these giant marbles, and he's like, dude, this stuff's so strong that if the Earth gets like hit by a giant asteroid, the Earth will just get blasted into tons of pieces and out of its orbit. This will be there. This will be floating around. Like just like this. It's like borosilicate. Like there's no forces that are going to get the colorful shit in the middle out. That's not real. It's a circle. It's a sphere. It deflects energy. There's a reason why all of the little sands on the beach are all of the similar size. Is because that's the size you get to when you deflect the energy. It's why all the stars are circular. You know, it's spherical. It's like the limit of gravity. Like
ultimate aerodynamics.
Exactly. There's a way. So these marble universes, like the blue marble, you make a great universe like that, and then one that simulates space and matter correctly. And then you just spin up an infinite number of little agents that are like, build spaceships and go to Mars. You know, and then they figure it out. And they're like, dude, you could do it with mushrooms and honeycombs. Just like, you know, it's like, what? It's like, watch. And it's like, it costs 8 cents. Like, what the fuck? Are you? And it's like, it's all real.
8 months.
Yeah. You just grow your spaceships like from fungal, you know, networks. Like, start over.
It's my mushroom shield.
It's my mushroom spaceship. It makes its own food. It makes its own sugar from sunlight, and it protects me from deep space radiation. And it transports me between planets. And it might be alive, but I'm not 100% sure.
Fuel.
Yeah. It's got sort of like Browning Townsend effect layers of bacteria on the outside of it, so it's like a living coat that can like create thrust like through the emptiness of space.
Yoda and
we got overwhelmed by what is it, discount time? Is it discount day for heroes? Because there's like a billion of them.
How do they got them so fast too?
They all of them had them. They all had them. They're just like Yoda, Luke, and somebody else, like Han, or not Han, but you know, it's all jumping through, just like, hey, what's up, mother junkers? We love this one. I love the inner levels of this one. This can go in a little while. We can stop after this.
Yeah.
Nice. The dude. But okay, so morphogenic resonance, instantaneous knowledge transfer, like the New York Times crossword, right? But for everything, for driving, for talking, for thinking. When I was in Germany or Switzerland for a couple weeks, I stopped thinking in English. I was just in kind of a quiet space. Like I didn't have inner dialogue in English because I was like, half of it was like the people around me. And there were sometimes when the German would bleed through where I would just be like brain thinking in German. I'd be like, Jesus. I mean, I don't know that much German, but it was like a function of the environment I was in a way.
Yeah.
Like the language circuits were open between the other
epigenetics.
Yeah. Right. That's the transfer of knowledge through DNA in space and time instantaneously. Your grandfather was really good at this, so you're good at this, but you never met your grandfather.
Yeah.
It was the
little machine.
Yeah, your DNA had little antennas on it, and they were tuned to grandpa's activity, which is happening now in a certain way. And then that lesson is not so much recorded as it is reflected back to you. And the importance of why he's doing it is available to him in that moment. Why do it? Because everybody's here with him. You know, in a way? Like, he's not alone either. He's not alone either. It goes two ways. You know, the why sacrifice for your kids, why sacrifice for your family? It's probably epigenetic magnetics. It's like something's pulling you through to the No, this means something to people that aren't here yet.
It's gonna get better in the
Yeah.
future. Like
Yeah.
actually, well, that's that's what
That's a good way to say it.
we all do. I think a lot of good people spend their energy that way, and then a lot of people are just traumatized and can't really store energy very well, or
people have been separated from their families by corporations.
So yeah, I mean that's for sure.
Step 1, corporation infiltrates the family. Step 2, gets everybody to be a consumer and solve the problems inside of there. The only thing that solves that family level thing is it's kind of the being. It's the organism, right? It's the organism functioning. Family got a family.
Yeah, the collective has to protect and nourish itself.
Think of the future. Do something for others. Make a sacrifice so there's greater environmental resource peace for others. They can turn that peace into something cooler. It's deep in us, right? Because we're social monkeys. It's like there's something, I don't know. When corporations exploit it, it's gross. When politicians exploit it, it's gross. We know so much about psychology. You're telling me our leaders can't be trained in how to help us as a people understand ourselves instead of divide us from each other and make us divisive towards each other. What kind of leadership is that?
Dumb games with each other.
Yeah. Leading us where? Like, that's ridiculous.
We're not that intelligent. It's like
no, by design,
dude.
The people that buy them know this. That's why they buy the dummies, because dummies don't run off with the keys of the kingdom. It's like if you're looking to buy someone, you're looking to buy a dummy. And it's bought and sold, is it not? Old man talk. Everything can change. Everything can change in a minute. The proper aerolization of psilocybin would cure all our evil. No, kidding. Allegedly. You gonna start dropping drugs from the sky, you fucks? Yeah, that was the real key one to this. The aerosol injection stuff was the reality that when they just hold up a tube in the sky under these events, they find graphite structures like buckyballs, C60 and stuff that can hold DNA fragments. And they start talking about the onset pattern of C19 and how it's just, makes a lot of sense if you factor in aerosolized injection into the atmosphere, the number of countries that get infected with an identical strain, because that's not how viruses travel. Everybody stays inside and it mutates from door to door. And so it gets attenuated very quickly unless you spray it in the air, allegedly. And so he wasn't really going there in that interview, but it's like, dude, I just think about my poor fellow man and just everybody. If all in your tax dollars put some spike protein in a buckyball and send it anywhere in the world to be dropped out of the sky on innocence, if there's even a fragment of that is true, that is so fucked.
Super fucked.
There is no, I think about my Irish self starts thinking about how we handle this in our village. Let's just say it was a little village. Okay, let's just say it's 40 people, all right? There needs to be an example made. we need definite resolution of the pain caused here globally, and we need some people, I'm sorry, scapegoat, you can make documentaries about it afterwards, but we need people to pay for what they have done.
Yeah.
It is not okay.
Like a sacrifice thing.
No, just honest. Just what did you do? You can say you're sorry. It's okay. You're going down. Massively. Yeah,
I'm not trying to ask for you.
But no one's. This is for the kids, dude.
It's for the kids. Yeah.
For the kids. For the people who can't stand up and make you account for any of this.
You're done being a kid when you're 25, and then you're supposed to get real, get on board.
Exactly. That's it. That's enough. So that's how you'd solve it in a 40-person group, right? It would be over very quickly and be like, you'd write it down and you'd be like, they were talking about gain of function once. Fuck that, dude.
Hey, I've got the top up here.
Okay. We're harvesting down below. They're getting cut down quick. They got lots of numbers. They spread out quick, but they're, what's the word? Nothing. we've got, but I mean, if you take one step back, imagine you could get this all under control. Imagine that people wouldn't pepper bioweapons out into your environment, no matter what the vector.
Yeah.
Imagine all these problems go away. You know what I'm saying? Like the actual problems we're facing from the universe and life are probably way less than this.
This is the thing. This is like This is the thing. Like, oh, we were talking about rent seeking. Well, banks rent seek off your economy.
Pain. Yeah, you got to cause these illnesses to cure them, etc.
Your government can print money, and that's not backed by anything. They can steal from
everybody who ever worked,
past, present, and future.
Yeah. Why? Because we have to. What problems are you solving that are so have to? Because I'm hearing about a lot of shit that is not about solving problems. It's about controlling everybody. That is not what you're getting paid to do on any level.
To hedge your position. Like, ooh.
I think if you biased it all towards libraries, you'd do fine. Just, you want to spend these trillions, half of it has to be on libraries. Infinite free access to knowledge, podcasts from a booth globally, holographically, just library. Like that's, go ahead and make all your money. Half of it goes into libraries. The best ones you've ever seen. The craziest well-stocked knowledge bases with super AI teachers. Fine. Grow it as big as you want. Make as much weird power as you want. It's offset by 50% libraries.
We got this.
Make them fun. Make them like entertainment. Make them like movies, except they're learning the calculus of life. You know, go for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by alternate dreams, and I think
no such thing as corporate social responsibility.
God damn it, they're soulless creatures. Corporations, don't give them that task. They're terrible at it. They don't know how to handle us.
They are focused on something else. They're playing a different game.
They are. They're playing a different game. They're like a bacteria. They're like on a different level. They're absorbing resources of their environment. They're fighting us for those resources. They're killing us for those resources. I've got to make this profit, dude. I got to make this profit. Really? What happens if you don't? Does anything actually happen? Well, to me,
it's like some status.
What are you? You're not even real. You're a fake thing. You're an invisible thing.
Often, you know?
You're an idea.
Too much.
When you fall out of service out of the humans that created you, you are a cancer.
Hedge.
You're like a daemon program just running in the background, just causing havoc from some dead creator that's gone and buried, and you're still doing this. Looking at you, Exxon, which was BP. That was my first, dude. I worked for BP when I was a child. When I was 16, I worked for British Petroleum, and that became Exxon. Those nerd jackets, that changed quite a bit.
Barely survived that.
We got OT. Okay, so now it's about cleanup. I'm right behind you. I'm on 2, 1. Don't, Arithia. Okay, I'm not leaving A. I just live on A. We hold down A. Now we clean.
We have to clean out the bottom now.
Okay, are you gonna stay up? If you stay up here, I can go down and clean.
Yeah, go down.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take every shot of opportunity I have before I go down. I'm gonna use all my grenades. Kill everyone you can from above, because that's the nice way to do it. And then down we go. I'm down. Okay, it's fucking chaos down. There's a lot of them. Jesus, 10 at least. Okay, I'm with you at 5. This is fun as shit, dude. This is just enough challenge. Like, I'm not trying to figure out what a candy-colored chainsaw inserted into my rectum means. And we're not in Fortnite. You know, it's like, Jesus. Jesus. You know, it's like, this is way more civilized compared to that shit. This is like a reasonable goal that's like achievable.
Sure.
It's like just enough hard, which is exactly right. That's the cool thing about the AI learning, is it can be just the right amount of hard, you know?
Right. You can dial it in. Exactly. Cut bespoke experience.
Just what you need, just in time. The infinite perfect librarian. Just read this chapter here, sweetie. I think this is what you need next. Oh God, you're right. See?
I did enjoy that.
That was amazing. you know, gosh, there could be the concept that we basically hit parity in the 70s of global resources. What the hell? That's 50 years ago. How much more I mean, if you want to get right down to it, what is it, like 3 people who own more than the half of the people in America? Like more than 50% of the wealth is owned by 3 individuals. That's real. Somehow that's allowed to exist. Not like you can like take this stuff, you can take ownership or whatever, but it's like still, it's like this is a serious symptom of an off-balance society. And it should be thought of in a positive, in a corrective and positive way. I think everyone who's in these positions are of course like, I think we need a little more media control. Shut this fucker up. But I think honestly there's too many of us, and you just coordinate us a little bit and we're probably way more of a problem, which is why all the psyops, all the hate your neighbor.
We're on the,
you know,
which is why they stick to weather.
Dude, that's what he was saying, that the weather is like scripted. There's so much of this weather manipulation going on that they have a spreadsheet, you know, weeks in advance, and they distribute that to NOAA people, and the North American Oceanographic Association, NOAA, and we're supposed to keep track of the tides and the moon position and all this stuff, you know, really do it. And they have to fake it. They have to like read this script back. Well, this is what we think the weather is going to be. And it's like, dude, okay, so let's say you could turn it off. Let's say you could turn it off tomorrow.
Well, that's what I was going to tell you.
There were no chemtrails today.
Like, you can't trust the weather, man. That's the only.
Everybody's been saying that for generations.
Yeah.
They've been saying, and they're right. If it's since the 40s, it's been generations. That's 80 years. That's way more than most human life. More than a lifetime that they've been like manipulating weather, causing any kind of negative or positive impact with it, and they keep it quiet because it's unconscionable to do that. You can't talk to them. You got to cut off the water from the sky. That's how you handle your problems.
Too hard, dude. Too much energy. I've got this big tool, and it's
it's completely. Don't worry, I can make your problem go away. Like no big deal.
How
Fucking straight 5-5 victory for our 5 listeners out there. Thank you so much. Well, it's a victory for each one of you. May your blessings increase and travel as far as humanly possible. Here, hold on a sec. We're gonna turn this. We're gonna turn us all back on here, dude. Dude, it was absolutely freaking fantastic hanging out tonight. It was so much fun. Have a great evening, sir. I'm gonna play us out on some music here. Any final thoughts? Any final chunks of wisdom here?
I like the always fight from the shade.
Fight from the shade, baby.
Yep.
Here we go. Take it easy, sir. Take it easy. God bless everybody.
Changes in perception, flipping the dial and tune. Colors in the rear view, all bloom in different hues. Snap into the moment, that the world feels new. Time after time, we find a much better view. Into now. Somehow it's the wow. Right into now. Let me show you how. We're learning every second like a rhythm in the room. We rhyme with words, but we're brand spanking new. Echoes and melodies, the shimmer and the truth. We rhyme with words, yeah, we're so fracking new. You got that cosmic memory. You got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies, a sea anemone. Oh, all you can see, you're all you can see. A shining bright light that it all is. Lifts me like confetti when the midnight city sings. Om on the drop, let the universe ring. Time after time, now we're so born guys and go. When I float, let the tags do the quote. Heat on my feet, gonna bop to the beat. Must cop drop, I'm posted at the shop. A unicorn pair when I spot it, time stops. Click, 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 in and out. Click, click, click. Somehow it's the wow. Click, 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 right into now. Click, click, click. Let me show you how. Oh, the shining light, we are all this, all this. Dance it into daylight on neon set of wings. On the drop, make the universe swamp. I hear the cosmos spin. Oh, we're getting born again. You got that cosmic memory. You got that seismic energy. You're free of enemies. I see your enemy. Oh, you can see. Oh, you can see. We rhyme with what was yet or something so new. Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes. Like deja vu, dressed in brand new shoes. Like deja vu, dressed in